Bill, can you tell us, is there any idea of when the IPO could potentially happen?
Could be as early as December, but it's more likely that it will be early next year into Q2. I think probably if I was a betting man, I'd probably say Q1, but it's totally up to the president.
I just say do it right before World Cup and right before 4th of July. Because I want to see all of these big deals being done before that, because if it is, I want 4th of July to be a magical celebration.
Next year is going to be amazing.
Oh, I can't wait for it. The parties, all that stuff. I'm sure you're going to be going to the UFC fight at the White House.
Sure. Yeah, he's excited about it. It's great. It's an exciting time to be in D.C.
No question about it. Tom, you were going to say something.
Yeah, is the IPO going to be traditional in that there'll be an S1, retail investors and people can go see it at sec.gov, or will there be a different kind of process because these are kind of government associated?
No, it'll be traditional. I think the president is entertaining a variety of options. He'll ultimately decide, but I think it'll be about 5% of the stock of both companies, and about $25–30 billion in capital potentially would be raised. So I think it will be a very, very hot, oversubscribed IPO.
Are you kidding me?
Absolutely.
People will be begging.
Yes, I think
that
we'll
on the
have no
American
problem.
mortgage market going forward. Oh my gosh!
Yeah, and there's so much we're doing with technology and stuff that we haven't shared yet in terms of the future of Fannie and Freddie. But these are enormous businesses and they hold enormous power, and so we're trying to unleash that. And I think they'll be very, very valuable assets one day.
Are you more long Freddie, Fannie, Disney, or Mr. Beast?
Well, I don't want to talk about the securities of Fannie and Freddie. Everybody should read all of the risk factors that are associated with that. I believe that the future is bright, and I believe that the mortgage market in the country has yet to see its best days. And if some of the things that we're doing with, you name it, mortgage insurance, credit scoring, title insurance, rent for mortgages, crypto for mortgages, and then just getting these businesses to run very well. I think these businesses could be worth trillions one day. But I say everybody needs to read the risks, and because those risks are out there, and
make a decision
I'm not making
for
anything
yourself.
about a specific security. I'm just saying Fannie and Freddie, I believe, are very, very valuable assets, and it's about time we have a president that actually knows that they even exist.
Okay, so the question for you is, there's names of people that could potentially replace Powell, okay? We have Kevin Warsh, okay, who is the former Fed governor. We have, many people are saying he could be the front runner. We have Kevin Hassett, who you mentioned multiple times.
I work with him actively.
Right, for sure. You have Christopher Waller, not Christopher Walken. This is Christopher Waller, right there, Rob. You have him up. You have Mr. Besant, who I think is crushing it, doing a great job, but I'd like to see him stay where he's at. You have Michelle Bowman and a couple other names. What can you say about, how you feel about each one of these, or if there's anything you can say about these 5 candidates?
I can't say much. I can just say I only know one of them, and that's Kevin Hassett, and I've enjoyed working with him. But ultimately, the president will have to decide what he wants to do, and who knows? I think the president's the only one who knows what he wants to do.
I agree. But by the way, is there what Kalshi is thinking they want to do with this, Rob? Is there a Kalshi number we can look at?
I can take a look.
Look up Kalshi and look at Polymarket to see if there is anything to do with who they're guesstimating based on numbers. Brandon, I think you're trying to say something, but let's see here.
One of those guys stood out to me. I'll wait till that. If you want.
Is there anything on Kalshi, Rob? Kalshi's prediction market. Is there a link to go to look at what Kalshi's talking about, or no? Nothing yet?
No.
Okay. Go ahead. You were going to say something.
Out of those 5 people, did you notice anything different about one of them?
Yeah, one of them on the right was BlackRock.
Well, I was going to say, the government workers private versus public sector. So no matter what we think about BlackRock, I think that the guy that works for BlackRock, director of fixed incomes, or I think that he's probably more competent and capable to do the job. Like a lot of the emergency stuff that that the Fed had to do, BlackRock handled. So I don't know. No matter what we think of that, I think maybe he could be good at it.
Who, the BlackRock?
Yeah, but Rick Reeder.
Okay, go back to the candidates, Rob.
Because, he's obviously a smart guy if he's running BlackRock's fixed income.
Rick Reeder, he's a nice guy. I know him too. But I just say this. No matter what happens, if you have inflation running at 1.5%, which the president has completely crushed inflation, and you're holding the Fed funds rate at 4.25%, rates are way too high, and they need to come down. What were you going to say?
I was going to say that, but when you talk about inflation, I think you have to factor in housing and that it's going astronomically higher because that's the biggest expense of a person's life.
But it's down year over year, and it's going to continue to. In my view, in my view, yes. In my view, in many ways, you've seen home price inflation decelerate, and I think that there's a chance that it will either continue to decelerate or go down. And
if rates go down, though, you don't think it's going to accelerate back up?
I personally don't think so.
Why?
I think that most people would say that it would, or you would think that it would, but I think for all the reasons I described, in addition to all the things that we're going to be working on with the home builders, and then the cost of inflation. I mean, lumber is down, drywall is down, all of these raw commodities that go into, remember when they were all saying, oh, the tariffs are going to cause this massive inflation and the cost of building a home? It didn't turn out to be true. It was completely false.
Yeah, no, I thought that was going to be false from the jump, but I mean, so what do you attribute the 378 to the 500 number from pre-COVID to post-COVID when rates were, I think there was 0 for the Fed funds rate and they were down to like 2 or 3% for mortgage rates. So do you not think that increase in prices was because of low rates?
I don't think it's just because of interest rates. No, I think a lot of it had to do, in my view, with, in part, like I said, illegal immigration. You can't let 20 million people into a country illegally and not expect there to be some effect on the housing market. You just can't. So I think interest rates are one big component. They're a very big component, but there's a lot of other factors. So we need to get this country building again, and we need to stop the illegal immigration, which the president has done.
To be fair, Biden printed money. That's the wrong way to put it. But he inflated the money supply with what he did, with a bunch of relief and a bunch of programs that he put out that were very inflationary. So it wasn't just
Interest rates.
Interest rates. It was also, stocks, bonds, commodities.
Well, people
all
buying
of
their
those,
second home and
all
claiming
of those
it's an
went
investment
up.
property.
Yep, all of that stuff went up.
I fully understand what he and his generation are going through. Fully understand, because of what it is to buy a house today and how things have changed. Fully. You saw that one chart on what the valuation of homes are compared to the stock market if you would invest into the stock market. Have you seen that one, chart that we talked about? There's a chart of saying from 1970 to today, if you had a choice between investing into the stock market versus real estate, it's not even close on how the two compare, on how the market is done. So some of the younger generation is flat out just sitting there. Which chart was it, by the way? Do you know? We literally just talked about it.
Let's talk about in part, though, why that is, right? Because when you go to buy a home, you're buying a leveraged, illiquid asset that is not easily disposed of. When you buy a stock, it is not always a leveraged asset, not as significant as a home, and it is a relatively liquid asset. So
that's the one right there. Zoom in a little bit, Rob. So $100 in 1970, if you put it in U.S. Treasury, if you put it in gold, it's $5,545. If you left it in cash, it's down. It's up to $956. Real estate, it's $1,542. If you put $100, it's 15x. U.S. 10-year Treasury, $2,200. Gold, 55x. Corporate bond, 77x. You put in the S&P 500, it's 220x. So you know what this is doing to this, and this is my concern, Bill, is the younger generation is saying, why would I buy? Let me just put money into stock market instead of relying on real estate. There has to be an incentive for them to buy. And I get what you're saying. If you're buying a $500,000 house, you're putting 20% down, so it's $100,000. You're financing half. So if the $500,000 goes to $700,000, you made $200,000 on $100,000, which is a 200% gain. So
but it's also a place to live and call home and raise a family in, and all the things that we love about American home ownership.
I would love to see you guys with your background. The part that makes it exciting with you is that you have the building background with one of the greatest we've ever had in the history in America, Pulte Group, what that business turned into, you and your family, is to sit there and say, how can we work with these builders to build smaller homes? So guys like him who are getting ready to want to get through the next phase, maybe they can't buy an $800,000 house, $1.2 million house. Maybe we can get them in a $400,000 to $600,000 house, something smaller. And it looks like you're already working on this. We will see what's going to happen. 2026 is around the corner. I am convinced this is going to be a very, very special year. In my opinion, I think we got this other rate cut that's coming. I think we're going to have 3 more in 2026, give or take, based on what Goldman Sachs and a lot of other people are saying. We may even experience a new person that's running the Fed by June-ish, I think June 26-ish, around that time, that could turn things around the second half of the year. If the China-U.S. trade deal gets done, it could be an unbelievable day for the stock market. However, all of that stuff going into 2026, what that means to you is nothing if you're not prepared for it going into 2026 with momentum. So having said that, if you don't yet have a plan to write out a great business plan for yourself, your family, your executives, your employees, watch this video, Rob, if you have. This is a video we shot of me going into a car, driving a car that goes 1.9 seconds, 0 to 60, and I also borrowed Vinny's old car to see, what was it, Rob? Was it a Prius? We're testing to see the difference between a Prius on 0 to 60 and then versus the Tesla Plaid. The owner was freaking out saying, I don't know if you can handle it or not. I said, I've been driving fast cars for a very long time, but I want you to watch this video. Rob, what speed do you have it on?
Just one.
Okay.
Regular.
Watch this video, folks. Speed matters when it comes down to business. Go ahead, Rob.
How fast you grow your business matters. Behind me, I have a 2019 Toyota Corolla, and I have a Model S Tesla Plaid. You're gonna see how fast it goes. It's absolutely insane. 1, 2, 3.
This is Vinny's car.
Still haven't hit it. Come on, Corolla. 10 seconds. Oh my gosh. Still got from A to B, but it's super slow. Any of these companies that eventually dominate their competitors, their edge isn't always just product, it's speed. This took way too long to go from 0 to 60. Here we go. Now we're in the Plaid. Let's see how this does. 0 to 60. Holy shit. Oh my God, that was amazing. So notice the difference. 0 to 60 in the Corolla, 9-10 seconds. This was less than 2 seconds.
So at this point, we know speed is critical in business. The question becomes, with 2026 around the corner, it'll be here in no time. How prepared are you going to be versus all your competitors? Once a year, I host an event called the Business Planning Workshop, where we cover the 12 building blocks on how to write a proper business plan that drives emotion and logic. If you've never attended it, do whatever you can for you, your wife, your team to tune in together. It's the only one we do that's through a webinar, which means anybody from anywhere around the world can tune into the Business Planning Workshop. It's December 12th. We start first thing in the morning. We go till very, very late. If you haven't registered yet, click on a link below to get registered. I cannot wait to see you there. All right, there you go, Rob. Let's put the link below. For some of you guys that are only listening to the audio, go to bpw.beddavidconsulting.com. Again, bpw.beddavidconsulting.com, or the link below. Get registered. We'll spend a day together on December 12th and make that the beginning of the greatest years of your life in 2026. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.